So I'm going to provide you with a little overview of service learning, the service learning project. The first thing I want to talk to you about the service learning project is it's similar to the instructional project in a lot of ways, but it's more complicated. So I like to usually refer to the instructional project as kind of your warm up instructional project. So this is where you're starting to kind of develop the abilities to integrate technology into different lesson plans and come up with resources that address standards. So that's like the warm up. So you know that you've already selected your own standard, what you wanted to kind of investigate. You created a lesson plan or kind of like a project outline. You created a draft, and then you created a final product that you could post somewhere that hopefully some teacher will use. So the service learning project kind of takes that one step further that says, okay, so you learned how to do one kind of instructional project, whether that was a website or an ebook or a video. Now we want you to actually make something for a specific teacher. So what you'll do is you will identify a particular teacher, and I'll explain this a little bit more, but the teacher that you're paired up with will actually select a standard and fill out some information that kind of tells you what goes on in his or her classroom, what are some of the background informations. Then you will create a lesson plan. It will be similar to the lesson plan that you developed in your instructional project, but it's much more detailed. Because we're doing this for an actual teacher, we want to make sure that everything you've thought of, everything of all different types of ideas, concepts. So it's actually broken down into 7 different parts, and we're going to provide you with feedback each week to help you select the best possible resources for your teacher. After you've done that, then you will create a draft similar to your instructional project. You'll get feedback in class similar to your instructional project, and then you'll actually create the final product. Again, similar to your instructional project. Now, here's again where it deviates is you will get teacher feedback. So you'll actually send your final product back to that teacher that filled out the information up here, and you'll say, what do you think? Do you think that this would work in your classroom? What are some different ideas that you have for improving it? And then once you get the teacher feedback and your instructor feedback, then you'll reflect on the entire process and think, what did I learn about technology integration? What were some different things that I found out? So hopefully that clarifies that these are 2 big projects that you have to do. One that is kind of like a warm up that you do for yourself and that you can post online, hopeful that other teachers will use your stuff that you took so much time to create. And then the second is your service learning project, where you actually work with the teacher to develop something for them, get their feedback, and reflect on that. So, the goals of the Service Learning Project is to provide you with an authentic learning experience. So, because there are so many students in W200, we have about 250 every semester, it's difficult to actually place you in a classroom where you'll design something for teachers in that classroom. So, instead, what we do is we connect you to actual K 12 classroom teachers. We also think that this is important because it'll allow you to see what do teachers really want or really need in terms of technology integration. What are some different things that can help teaching? Um, and this authentic learning experience will also help you kind of identify technology integration problems in a specific lesson or unit. So, why would I have difficulty integrating it into an economics, unit? There's not a lot of economic resources out there. Why is that? Propose technology integration solutions. So now that you have the problem that the teachers propose, that they can't engage their students, or this topic just needs to be more exciting, or it needs to be more effective. So this can help with that. You can help kind of think of different ways that you could solve problems with technology integration. And then, of course, creating supporting instructional materials for a lesson or unit for a particular teacher. So that's what we have as the goals out of this. So why service learning? Again, I just talked about that on the previous slide a little bit. It provides you with actual teachers to work with so that you can see what resources do K-12 teachers actually have. What do they previously, experience with technology? Some of the teachers that you work with may be very comfortable with technology, while others may not be. And what do K-12 teachers really need with technology integration, and what do they expect? What do they expect is going to be easy enough for them to use, but is, really fantastic enough to use in the classroom? The service component is that you are actually designing and developing something for a K 12 teacher. So you're really doing a great service to the K 12 community. And so that's the service part of service learning. The learning part is that you're actually applying the information that you've learned in W200 to real world scenarios. So the things that you're learning, you can hopefully actually figure out, oh, yes, this will work this way in the classroom, but it won't work in other ways. You'll be collaborating and sharing new technology integration ideas with actual K-12 teachers, as well as your classmates if you're paired up in groups. And then finally, the last learning component is that you reflect on what you learned from this experience. So when you're done with it, you can think, okay, so what did I actually learn about technology integration? What about teaching? What new information did I learn about how to be a better teacher? What about planning? When I'm planning for different lessons, what are the different things that I need to kind of consider?